Right everyone, it is Finn here and welcome to my Champions League group stage prediction video because it is finally back. The Champions League, it has returned. And you know what that means. Well, first of all, yes, the blue lights are back, but it also means that it is time for some more prediction videos because as you can see on screen right now, the 8 Champions League groups have finally been released and we've got some juicy ones. I mean, just looking at Group C. Bayern Munich, Barcelona and Inter within one group.
I can't imagine a more beautiful thing.
It should be illegal. I mean, to also have PSG and Juventus in the same group, Man City versus Dortmund and so many others, the Champions League 22-23 season is going to be special. Now, of course, when the Champions League groups are always released, everyone kind of hopes that their team is given an easy group. And of course, I was hoping that my team wouldn't be given a difficult group. And I guess my prayers were answered because we didn't qualify for the Champions League. But of course, regardless of that, I guess my team not qualifying for the Champions League means that I go in with an unbiased opinion. But of course, jumping into our first prediction, we have Group A. And of course, looking at Group A, I guess you have to put the finalist Liverpool at the top of the group. Obviously, they were finalists of last season's Champions League. And at the end of the day, although they've had a very slow start to this new Premier League season, obviously we're in match week 4 and they haven't won a game yet. I do think Liverpool, at the end of the day, they've got enough quality and they should be able to win this group. My only problem is the fact that they don't have the best of records versus Napoli. But at the end of the day, although Napoli have performed very well in the Serie A, I do believe that losing some key players over the transfer window, I do believe Liverpool should still win this group, and I do think Napoli, if not first, will come in second. Unfortunately, that means that Ajax won't be in the top 2. I'm obviously a huge fan of this Ajax team. We've seen them do very special things in this tournament before, but I do think that they will end up in 3rd place, and unfortunately, due to process of elimination, the Europa League finalists from last season, obviously being Rangers, I do think will end up in 4th place. Once again, it's not because they're bad or anything, it's just because this is a highly competitive group, and once again, it's just not going to be easy to make it out of. As I said, my real only conflict is who comes first in this group. Obviously, Napoli, as I said, performing very well in the league at the moment. They've obviously signed that brilliant Georgian winger. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. It just looks like someone smacked their head against the keyboard. But regardless of that, Napoli still have a world-class team and they should be able to make it through. Now, of course, jumping into Group B, we have Porto, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, and Club Brugge. Now, of course, once again, I think we do have a least favourites in this group. Whether we have a favourite or not, I'm not sure. But I do think that the Belgian club, Club Brugge, will end up in 4th place. Once again, they're always a top quality team. They always provide surprises in the Champions League. But once again, losing a few key players like the Cataliers to AC Milan, once again, it could really have a bad impact on this team. And obviously, just looking at the other 3 teams, they are so strong. From Atletico Madrid to Bayer Leverkusen to obviously Porto, these are 3 really top teams. Once again, it's not going to be easy to pick, especially between 2nd and 3rd, but I do think that the winners of this group will be good old Atletico Madrid. Once again, they've got a good record in the Champions League. They've got some top quality players. I do feel like they might struggle in the Liga this season, but at the end of the day, they've definitely got enough quality, and I do think they've got it in them to win this group. Obviously, as I said, between 2nd and 3rd, between Leverkusen and Porto, it's not going to be an easy one, but at the end of the day, I do think I will put Porto in 2nd and Leverkusen in 3rd. Once again, nothing bad versus Leverkusen, but just watching Porto, they've had some brilliant performances over the last few years in the Champions League, and once again, they've shown on multiple occasions that they can progress further. Now, of course, jumping into arguably the biggest group of the Champions League, we have Group C. I mean, once again, who keeps on putting Bayern Munich and Barcelona in the same group? Who keeps on putting the kid who gets bullied and the bully in the same group together? Now, of course, this dynamic will change this time around, as obviously Robert Lewandowski plays for Barcelona. Will he be the deciding factor? Will he be the player who takes Barcelona above of Bayern Munich? Now, of course, I think that will be the biggest talking point. Of course, I mean, at the end of the day, you can only just feel sorry for Plzen, or however you pronounce it, the Czech Republic team in this group. Once again, I don't have much hope for them, although you do get underdogs and dark horses in football. I do think Plzen, I do think that they, unsurprisingly, will end 4th place in this group. Obviously, once again, Inter, top quality team, especially now that they have Romelu Lukaku back in the team. They've got Onana between the posts. I think Inter have a top quality team, but unfortunately, I do still think that they will in 3rd place. Once again, nothing bad against them. Just looking at Barcelona, the improvements they've made over the transfer window. Looking at Bayern Munich, they're already strong starts to the Bundesliga. I mean, they don't even need Robert Lewandowski. Looking at the numbers that someone like Sadio Mane will have. Once again, it could be a deciding factor. Obviously, between Bayern and Barcelona, dare I say it, I think we're going to have a few surprises, and I think this might just be the year that Barcelona beats Bayern Munich and win their group.
It was said that you would destroy this and not join them.
Once again, it is a strong thing to say, but I think it is very possible. Of course, before we jump into Group D, I want you guys to put down in the comment section down below, who do you think will win the Champions League this year? Who do you think will end up taking the trophy home at the end of the day? As I said, I do feel like there are some strong favorites this year, but I just want to see your guys' opinions. But of course, moving on, going into Group D, the halfway stage of this video, obviously we've got Frankfurt, Tottenham Hotspurs, Sporting CP and Marseille. Once again, I feel like all four of these teams are very similar. Once again, I do feel like having Yaya Toure pick the group for Tottenham Hotspurs, tiny bit biased. But at the end of the day, moving on, I do feel like Tottenham Hotspurs, out of these four teams, should have no excuse but to win this group. Of course, it is their return to the Champions League where they didn't have a bad time last time they were in it. Obviously, they've got some top quality players. They've started off very strong this Premier League season. Once again, under Antonio Conte, he has a winning mentality, and I don't think he would receive anything less or accept anything less than a win in this group. I mean, he might take off someone's head if they don't. Obviously, in terms of who else I think will make it, believe it or not, I'm between two teams here, and I'm between Sporting CP and Marseille. Once again, two very top quality teams, and I might just have to go for Marseille. Obviously, I know, once again, their return kind of to the Champions League. They've got some brilliant new additions to the squad. Look, amongst the likes of players like Dimitri Payet, who were already in the squad, they've obviously now got Eric Bailly in defense. They've got Guendouzi on a permanent deal. They've obviously got Alexis Sanchez. Marseille are building a super strong team, and if they're able to play well together and really gel well as new additions, I think Marseille can go further to the next stage. Obviously in third place, once again, I hate to say it, but it has to be Sporting. Unfortunately, they've lost, well, just like Porto, another Portuguese club, they've lost a lot of key players this transfer window. Although they have proven, once again, just like Porto, that they are able to bounce back from selling top quality players. But obviously, looking at them, although they always seem to do well in these competitions, I do unfortunately think that this is just too tough of a group for them. Which, of course, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, does mean that I think Eintracht Frankfurt or Eintracht Frankfurt in this group. Once again, sorry for the dad jokes. But of course, look at Frankfurt. Although they won the Europa League to get here, unfortunately, in the Bundesliga last season and this season, not so great. And I do think it will end up catching up to them. Yes, they definitely beat some top quality opponents in the Europa League last season, from Barcelona to West Ham United. But once again, looking at them at the moment, they've lost some key players this transfer window already. And unfortunately, as I said, just a very difficult group. And they probably will end fourth. Now, of course, moving on to Group E, we've got Milan, Chelsea, Salzburg, and Dynamo Zagreb. Obviously, once again, I feel like Chelsea and Milan always end up playing together. Obviously, Milan only made their return to the Champions League last season, where once again, they were in a very difficult group last time, but I think this time around, they've got a much better chance. I think obviously between Milan and Chelsea, they are the favourites in this group, and I actually think that the team that will end dead last in this group will be Salzburg. Yes, I know they've always got top quality players, they always seem to sell their top quality players, it just seems to be the way things go. But once again, unfortunately, we've seen Dynamo Zagreb as well, the Croatian side in the Champions League, and they always seem to have surprises. They are the kind of team that could get a win or even a draw versus Milan or Chelsea. We've seen them pull out performances like that on multiple occasions, and because of that, I do think Salzburg will in fourth place. Dynamo Zagreb will end up in third place. And between Milan and Chelsea, once again, it's going to be very difficult. But I dare I say think Milan are going to win this group. I think Chelsea, once again, they've proven on multiple occasions that they can go very far in this competition. But I've seen them struggle quite a few times in the Premier League so far this season. I do think that they do have one or two worrying factors. First of all, not having a proper strike up front could come back and bite them in the backside. Obviously, once again, looking at Milan, they just seem to get stronger and stronger every single season, and although both these teams will progress to the next stage anyway, so it doesn't really matter, I do think Milan could potentially win this group with Chelsea in second place. Once again, it is the return of Olivier Giroud, and once again, we could always see something special with good old Olivier. Now, of course, moving on to Group F, we have, let me just say, this is criminal. This might be arguably the easiest group in the competition, with maybe the best team in the competition. We've got Real Madrid, RB Leipzig, Shakhtar, and Celtic Celtic.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, son.
I mean, how Real Madrid have managed to pull this off, I feel like once again, I have no idea. I feel like almost every single season, Real Madrid are given a group that they're almost guaranteed to get out of. Obviously, looking at them, once again, they obviously won the Champions League last season, again, and I feel like on top of that, they've actually improved off of last season with their signings. They've obviously brought in Rudiger, although they've just lost Casemiro. Once again, they're building a really nice young midfield at the moment. Once again, Real Madrid just looks so strong, and let's be honest, they will end up winning this group. Obviously, in terms of the other three, it won't be easy, but I do feel like the other team that will make it through will probably be RB Leipzig. Once again, they haven't had a great start by any means in the Bundesliga. 3 games in, I don't think they've got a single win yet. But obviously, looking at them, Nkunku was brilliant in the Champions League last season. They've now got Timo Werner, who wasn't good at all for Chelsea, let's be honest. He has had a very strong start to RB Leipzig. Obviously, that is his home. Obviously, Leipzig, we've seen on many occasions, can perform very, very well. I do feel like RB Leipzig will end up in second place. And between Shakhtar and Celtic, once again, looking at a team like Celtic, I think we could see a surprise here. And I actually think Celtic will in third place in this group. Once again, we know the fans, we know their atmosphere. They've got some of the best fans in world football. And I feel like when it comes to home games, Celtic could perform very, very well. Excuse me, can you not move my microphone? Sorry, it seems as if I've got very, very annoying company today. Of course, say hi to everyone, Mason. But of course, I do feel like, as I said, I feel like Celtic, with the atmosphere at the club, what we've seen at the club over the last few months or even the last few seasons, I do feel like Celtic have a very good squad this time around. And I do think Shakhtar, unfortunately, will end up in 4th place. Once again, one of those other teams that have surprised on many occasions. They always seem to be in a group with Real Madrid. I'm not sure what happened to my voice there. But of course, at the end of the day, Shakhtar, if you were able to even hold on to a player like Neres, who obviously ended up going to Benfica, you might have had a chance, but unfortunately, I do feel like this time around, it isn't your time. Now jumping into our final 2 groups, which once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe down below. Once again, we are on the race to 10,000 subscribers. It sounds absolutely absurd, but of course, every single bit of help really does help, if I can say that.
Every 60 seconds in Africa, a minute passes.
That every bit of support does help, is what I mean to say. But of course, jumping into Group G, we've got Man City, Sevilla, Dortmund, and Copenhagen. Now, once again, I do feel like there's a strong favourite here with Manchester City. I mean, how can they not? Obviously, if you looked at Dortmund, their best player over the last few years is now a Man City player. Obviously, Erling Haaland, absolutely gigantic addition to Man City. And obviously, a homecoming, could he help them take over Dortmund? Once again, I probably think so. Although Man City, once again, don't have a great Champions League record in terms of winning trophies, they've performed really well over the last few seasons. Obviously, I mean, last season, they went out to the eventual winners. The season before that, they went out in the final. Once again, Man City is a top quality team. They could do very well this season, but no matter how far you think they will go, I definitely think that they will win this group. Now, of course, unfortunately, last place in this group, I do think it will be Copenhagen. I obviously think the Danish team look very, very strong. Of course, I think the addition of Matt Ryan as a goalkeeper has really helped them qualify for this tournament. Once again, it could be a team to pull out quite a few surprises, but due to the competition in this group, I don't think it's possible. Now, of course, the real talk will be between Sevilla and Borussia Dortmund. Now, I hate to say it, but also looking at Borussia Dortmund, without Erling Haaland, they really struggled in the Champions League last season when he was injured. It was really only when they had him that they seemed like a real threat. Once again, they could be a team to possibly go under Sevilla in this group, and I think it is highly, highly likely. But I do think that at the end of the day, once again, Borussia Dortmund, they've got some top quality players, and I'm going to keep them in second place. I think that they can still do very, very well in this competition. Once again, we're going to have to wait and see. It is obviously a major, major pity with the whole Sebastian Haller situation, but at the end of the day, they've still got a top quality team and they can still do very, very well, which unfortunately, once again, kind of means due to process of elimination that Sevilla will end up in third place, which, as I said, they could easily end up in second place. I mean, they've got Bono, an absolutely brilliant goalkeeper. They've got brilliant attackers, brilliant wingers, brilliant everything in this team. Once again, also losing Kundu as a centre-back could be absolutely massive for them. But once again, well, time will tell. We'll see when we get there. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, that takes us to our final Champions League group for the upcoming season. Group H, which, I mean, PSG, Juventus, Benfica, and Haifa, once again, a team that I haven't really heard too much about in the past. I believe it's an Israeli team, which, once again, unfortunately, nothing bad against them. We see surprises all the time in football, but against a very, very difficult group, I do think that they probably will end up in 4th place. Once again, nothing bad against them. Of course, I do feel like Benfica could hold a few surprises here, but once again, just compared to PSG and Juventus, although I do think Benfica could take over Juventus and end up in 2nd place, I do think Benfica will end up in 3rd. As I said, we could see a few surprises as Neres has joined them, who could be a brilliant addition to their attack. Obviously, Otamendi still going very strong in the centre-back. Once again, Benfica could have a few surprises, but I do think we'll end up in 3rd place, which of course, ladies and gentlemen, takes us to our final 2 teams of this entire video, with PSG versus Juventus. Once again, neither of these 2 teams with great records in the Champions League. Of course, once again, this will be a major talking point. Obviously, Juventus have kind of fallen over the last few seasons and are no longer strong favourites for their league anymore. So really, they do want to impress in the Champions League. Once again, although Juventus, they do have a strong quality team, they have brought in a few decent signings this transfer window. I do feel like probably they are weak in my opinion. Maybe you guys would disagree with me, but I do feel like they are weaker than previous seasons. And looking at PSG, they just seem to get stronger and stronger and stronger, and I do think that they will win this group. I think the addition of well, not the addition, but I just think the whole total of Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, the kind of starts they've had to the season already, once again, I think it could continue. And dare I say, I think PSG could do well in the Champions League this season. I mean, just look at some of the numbers that Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi have already had in the league. Once again, they just look so strong, and we could see a few surprises. I'm sorry, Angel Di Maria. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's video. Once again, my Champions League group stage prediction video. Once again, as I said, I'm a bit sad my team won't be in the competition, but at the end of the day, it is still one of the best competitions in the world. It will still be highly entertaining. As I said, subscribe if you're not subscribed, on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Along with that, let me know in the comment section down below who you think will end up winning the tournament as a whole. Will Real Madrid do it once again? Will we get a surprise? Will a team win it for the first ever time? Let me know down below. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, or whatever else you choose to identify as, this has been fun, FYNN. Until next time, cheers.